And welcome to the RHS Newsnet. I'm your anchor, Michael Ann Chapman. Our top story today is about a gay Uzbek migrant in Russia. Earlier this year, Russia passed multiple laws restricting the rights of the LGBT community. One of the laws bans gay propaganda. This law is intentionally vague and allows the police to arrest activists that protest the law. It also has unofficially given vigilantes the green light to counter-protest, which includes and is not limited to verbally harassing, spitting on, and beating peaceful protesters. This, however, is the only docile actions of the anti-gay groups. For more information on recent attacks by the new hate groups, we turn to Jacob Dudley, our senior civil rights correspondent, who is in Russia. Jacob, what can you tell us about these hate groups?
Well, Mikey, the group calls themselves Occupy Pedophilia, and they target Russia's LGBTQ community. Their ideology stemmed from the false idea that all homosexuals are child molesters. The members of this gang abduct gay men under the false pretense of a date. When the victim is lured into the trap, they are humiliated and beaten. Although in some cases, such as the Uzbekistani migrant, the assaults are 10 times worse. A few days ago, on September 11th, an Uzbek migrant was the victim of one of the most vicious attacks. When the man went to the date, he was confronted by a group of gang members. The victim was then dragged into the woods and was violently beaten. The group forced the man to confess about his homosexuality with a gun pointed to his head. The victim was then stripped of his clothes, which were then burned. As his clothing was burned, he was sexually assaulted with an empty bottle. This image of the victim was taken by the assailants during their attack. This is similar to another case in Volgograd, in which a gay man was beaten, violated, and killed by a stone to the head, and then had his body burned. The latest victim was left for dead in the woods by the Occupy Pedophilia thugs, and also, the police have no plans to investigate this case. Back to you, Mikey.
Thank you, Jacob. With dark times in Russia growing, it can be hard to see the light. In spite of this, the LGBTQ community will always hope that they will eventually see a new morning sun.